Hello, I'm going to make some chocolate chip cookies. I'm sure this is a pretty basic recipe for anybody who's cooked before. Just wanted to make a video about making chocolate chip cookies in case someone's looking on YouTube for a how to make chocolate chip cookie video. You need 2 eggs, 2 cups chocolate chips, 1 cup butter at room temperature, 3/4 cups white sugar, 3/4 cups brown sugar, and 2 1/4 cups flour, 1 teaspoon salt, and 1 teaspoon baking soda. So I've already got all my ingredients, and I'm going to go ahead and mix the sugar. And instead of 1 teaspoon vanilla, I used 1 teaspoon of almond extract just because I like to give it a little bit of a different flavor. So there's my 2 eggs and my sugar, and the butter is super soft. And then just mix this together. Okay, and then salt, flour, baking soda. Flour out of there. Mix this, and then you let this sit in the refrigerator until it's a little bit hardened for about 30 minutes, because right now it's going to be pretty gooey. So what I like to do is I get it mixed together really well, and then I take it out of the bowl, put it in some saran wrap, wrap it up into a little ball, and stick it in the fridge. Mix it in really well together. I like to kind of smash the chocolate chips in with the spatula until it's all really good and mixed. Sorry for my elbow being in there. Almost got it. Gotta make sure we get the sides here. So this should make about 48 cookies, give or take, depending on how big you make them. Yep, I didn't get it all mixed. Look at that. So you take it like this. Put it on the saran wrap. The recipe calls for you to make them into teaspoonful rounds whenever you're putting them onto the pan. I usually end up somehow making them bigger than that, so it just depends on how big you want your cookies, and then you'll end up having to cook them a little bit longer if they're a little bit bigger, but that's okay. They turn out nice and soft. Okay, so now we're gonna stick this in the refrigerator. Oh, get that in. We're gonna stick this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, or until, you know, I'm gonna test it. If it's pretty hard, I'll take it out of there. One more wrap on the top since that's open. You don't want it to dry out. Okay, now we're ready to go in the fridge. So it's where I need it to be, nice and hard. Now I can just open it up. All my saran wrapping that I did. I had to let it sit in the refrigerator a little bit longer than 30 minutes. So okay. Now you can use a teaspoon if you want to, but I just take it in my hands, and it's about the size of a quarter is about how round it is. And these will kind of spread out on the pan a little bit, so we'll do some small ones and then we'll do some large ones so you can see what size they turn into. Okay, let's see here. I would do 2 cookie sheets at a time if you have room in your oven. I'll probably have to cook the one on the bottom rack for a couple more minutes after I take the top one out just so it browns real good. But you want them to be spaced out about like that. And you just keep going until you got them all done. Some cute little chocolate chip cookies. And of course, when they're small, you can fit a lot on the pan. I like this recipe because you don't have to roll them into a ball or anything. Just make sure they're kind of uniform in shape. Alright, now I'm going to do the other one. So we've got our oven preheated to 375. Cook it for about 9 to 10 minutes, and since they're smaller, may not even need to cook that long, but in they go. In they go. Alright, and bye bye cookies until we see you in 8 minutes. I'm gonna turn it on for 8 minutes and then check them. Cookies not quite done. Cookies need to be a little bit browner. Couple more minutes. Alright, a little more brown. Looks a lot better. And they'll still be soft and not hard. Because you don't want hard cookies. And these ones on the bottom are definitely ready. That surprises me because normally it takes a little bit longer to cook when it's on the bottom. Looks like they turned out nice and yummy. Let's make some bigger ones and see what those look like. These are a little bit bigger. Still have a little bit more dough to work with. I wanted these to be a little bit more gooey, so I pulled them out 1 minute before. They look good. Let them cool off for a minute and then get them off with your cookie spatula. Put them on a rack to cool. Alright, now there we go. Okay, and just continue, let them cool, put them in a Ziploc bag or an airtight container, and that's how you make chocolate chip cookies.